Ooh, what's good, Wizards fans? The Washington Wizards signed forward Saddiq Bey from the DMV, went to DeMatha High School, then went to Sidwell Friends from the DMV. Man, this is a solid, a really good signing, in my opinion. A really good signing. Played for the Hawks, played for the Pistons. Troy Weaver, I think he had an influence in bringing Saddiq Bey in because Troy Weaver was the Pistons GM the last couple of years, and now he is a advisor in the front office. Now he did trade Saddiq Bey for James Wiseman, or eventually for James Wiseman, but he still had a huge part in drafting Saddiq Bey with the Detroit Pistons. He was in that 2020 draft, same draft with Denny, same draft with James Wiseman. My voice is messed up a little bit because I'm a little under the weather or whatever. But this is a good sign. Man, Saddiq Bey he's a dog, man. Like, he had 50 points in one game where he hit 10 threes. 10 threes. He can shoot the lights out. Hasn't shot the three ball well the last couple of years, but he's gonna bring some toughness to this team and some bucket getting and some creativity for sure. This guy can really fill it up. 6'7", 215 pounds. You look at his shoulders. He is strong. He's tough taking it to the basket as well. Some of his shooting percentages went down a little bit, but the guy can play, man. He can put the ball on the floor. He can get to the basket, shoot a three. He can defend a little bit. But he did tear his ACL on March 10th. So the expectation is that he's going to miss a good amount of the season if he plays at all. Josh Robbins just tweeted out that the expectation is, he's going to miss a good amount of the season. This is per Woj as well. I'm going to read the tweet here real quick. Josh Robbins tweeted, Saddiq Bey is rehabbing a torn ACL that he suffered in mid-March, and the Wizards' expectation is that he'll miss most of the 2024-25 season, but the team views him as a tough, hard-nosed culture guy who will help on the court after he recovers from the knee injury. Woj reported this first. So you look at some of Saddiq Bey's numbers. He was on the all-rookie team back in 2021. He averaged 12 points a game. 4 boards a game, 1.4 assists. He shot 38% from the three-point line, which is really good. And then his sophomore season with Detroit averaged 16 points a game. Shot 34% from the from the three-point line. 82% free throw shooter in that season. And then field goal percentage, he shot 39%, which is not good. But still, he was getting buckets. He played in all 82 games in 2022. So he's been able to stay healthy for the most part. And then 2023 is the year he got traded to the Atlanta Hawks, and he played in 77 games. Excuse me, averaged 14 points a game for Detroit, and then 11 points a game for the Atlanta Hawks, where he came off the bench. And then this past season, he started 51 out of 63 games and averaged 13 points a game and shot 31% from the three-point line. So he shot 40% from three in 25 games with the Hawks when he got traded. So I don't know what's going on with the shooting. The shooting percentage went down to 31% last year. But, overall, he's a 35% three-point shooter. So he can really space the floor. So I'm happy. And I talked about I think my last video, I was like, I think the one thing that we need to do is bring in more shooters. We let go of Shamet. They reportedly want to trade Corey Kispert. I do think the team needs more shooting, especially if you're going to have Alex Sarr at the 4 and then Giannis Valanciunas at the 5. If Bilal's going to play, he's not the best shooter in the world. You got to get some spacing on the floor for sure. Jordan Poole can shoot the 3. Brogdon can shoot the 3. But I love how we're bringing toughness to the team and physicality. I like that too because he can really go through and finish, get and ones, different things like that. He can really get to the paint and finish. That's what I like about Saddiq Bey as well. So like Josh Robbins tweeted, he's going to bring some toughness to the team. And you get a young guy, a buy low kind of deal. And it's crazy, like, looking at Saddiq Bey after his rookie season and sophomore year, you would think he would get paid more than this after his rookie deal is done. But the torn ACL and the low, so this is kind of like a low-risk, high-reward type of signing, a buy-low type of signing, and then the whole second apron thing. A lot of guys are struggling to get deals, like Gary Trent Jr. is out there struggling to get a deal. Tyus Jones is struggling to get a deal. So we do have a log jam at the wing spot now. Like Kyle Kuzma reportedly has interest from the Kings, as always, and the Lakers. So could he be moved soon? But at the same time, I don't think he will because Saddiq Bey's not going to be available to play until, later in the season. So I know Corey Kispert is on the trade block as well, but it's kind of like, are you going to move him yet when Saddiq Bey's not ready to play? So those are some question marks there. But I like Saddiq Bey, man. I think when he comes back, eventually he would be in the starting lineup, in my opinion. But I really, really like this low risk, high reward type of signing. And like I said, I think Troy Weaver certainly has a big connection in this. And somebody tweeted me said, "Never forget his 50-point explosion." Yeah, that was wild when he went off for 50. This guy, he can fill it up, man. He can heat up and get hot. Like, he's so talented, and I still think there's a lot more potential for him and a lot more in the tank. I think he can eventually be an 18-point a game kind of scorer in this league for sure, just in the right spot, in the right situation. I can see him averaging, 18 points a game. I mean, he averaged, 16 points a game at one point, and looked like he was on his way to be a really, really good. And I still think he's a really good player, for sure. But I like this signing, man. I like this signing. Now, this signing doesn't hurt the tank, doesn't take away minutes from Bilal, anything like that. It possibly could create a logjam for Bilal, but like I said, once again, he's not going to be playing until later in the season. And then bringing him in is not going to mess up the tank for Cooper Flag. It's just not going to do it. He's not going to affect our win percentage. Let's just put it that way. He's not going to. Him and Valanciunas, they might have taken us from a 15-win team to a 20-win team or a 25-win team at that. Now, 25 wins would mess up the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. We just need a top Ace Bailey, Cooper Flag, any of those guys, honestly, will be a win for the Washington Wizards. Excuse me, in this upcoming draft, for sure. We need it. We need it injected into our veins. Cooper Flag, the guy who was cooking in the USA Select versus the USA team this a couple days ago in practice, and he did go to Villanova. I know. Ben Stanley tweeted out, "The Wizards know they will eventually extract multiple first-round picks from the Nova Knicks for Saddiq Bey." So basically, he's joking around saying that eventually we can trade Saddiq Bey for multiple first-round picks, since he went to Villanova and the Knicks love their Nova guys for sure. So maybe we could hype up his value and eventually trade him down the line, especially such a really, really good contract. Like, this is a good deal, So you move on from Denny, and you get a guy on a cheaper contract. And Denny was on a good contract too. But Saddiq Bey, how old is he as well? He is 24, 25. He just turned 25 not too long ago, about 3 months ago. He turned 25 years old. He was the 19th pick in the draft, in the 2020 draft. Excuse me, I already said that. And he averages 6 boards a game in his career, which is pretty good too. He's a solid rebounder for sure. 83% free throw shooter as well, which is really, really good. And 6'7", 215 pounds. So, I mean, you trade Denny for 2 first-round picks, and then you kind of get a guy that gives you similar or better production than what Denny did. Now, Saddiq Bey's not as good as a defender that Denny has been, but consistently offensively, Saddiq Bey has been the better player throughout his career. Denny just finally, kind of took that leap to offensively, where he's been shooting the three better and finishing with both hands. Saddiq Bey has been doing that throughout his career. So you kind of get a guy from that same draft who is offensively further along. So I think it's a darn good deal. It's such a smart move by Will Dawkins to get a guy who is 25, who can kind of fit that timeline at the age of 25, and you get him on a cheap deal, who really, like I said, a year or two ago, I would have thought Saddiq Bey would be getting $15 million per year after his rookie deal, but he's only getting 6.5, which is unfortunate. But this is a chance for him to, build up his value, build up his reputation again, and after the 3 years and whatnot, he can get a better deal. So we'll see what happens with him in his career. But it's good to see a guy from the DMV come back home, for sure. He was born in North Carolina, but went to high school in the DMV. So I'm excited to see what Saddiq Bey can do, for sure. So, I mean, if the starting 5 started today, I'll probably make a separate video about that. I'm not going to put him in the starting 5, but this is a good signing, man. I'm happy about this. I'm happy about this to see the Wizards just bring in some talent, man. His contract will not include a player option, according to league source. If Bey returns to form after he recovers, the contract will be considered a great value bargain from the team's perspective. So, yeah, definitely. There's going to be a trade coming for sure. Whether it's Corey Kispert, Kuzma, somebody's going to get traded for sure. All right, you guys. Hell to the Wizards. Peace.